Good evening and welcome back to Sack to the Future 1971. We are in week number 5, and the Buffalo Bills are coming in to face the Houston Oilers. Teams that started and are now heading in different directions. The Bills won their season opener and have not won since. The Oilers lost their season opener and have not lost since. So the Bills in last place, 1 win, 2 losses, 1 tie, and the Oilers are in first place of their division at 3-1. But there is good news for the Buffalo Bills. O.J. Simpson, there you see Dennis Shaw's number. He's just under 1,000 yards already, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's had a pretty good year. Near the top of the entire league in passing yards already. But the other good news for the Oilers, the Bills, besides their quarterback, has played well all season. O.J. Simpson, who has played in 2 snaps, and then he got hurt in the opener, is back. So O.J. Simpson is back. Let's take a look at the starters. Young, O'Donnell, Jarvis, Carr, and Green. There's the backs, O.J. Simpson and Jim Braxton. Briscoe, Moses, the receivers, and Jan White, the tight end. Braxton is now the second running back, and he leads the team in all things running back related because Jones also got hurt, so Braxton has been the man the last couple of weeks. But now O.J. Simpson's back. We'll see how they split carries. I would imagine Braxton will still get some carries because I don't think O.J. Simpson is 100%. On that first carry, he loses a yard, so 3rd and 11 coming up. And Shaw drops back to pass, and he will throw to O.J. Simpson, who gets hit while he's up in the air. So Shaw off to an 0 for 2 start, and O.J. Simpson didn't do much on his 2 touches. So the Bills will have to punt. The Oilers, of course, lost their opener, but then have come back with some really good defensive games and have won 3 in a row. So the defense comes out looking good again. The Oilers also have some running back injuries. Here's Dan Pastorini, 579 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. You see he's over 60% on the year, so a good year for Pastorini, especially. Pastorini has only thrown 1 interception, which is very low for 1971. Now you saw his yards were way less than Shaw as well. So the Bills have had more success of getting offensive yardage. But the Oilers rely more on their defense to win games. You see Sledge is in. Sledge also not the normal starter, but the Oilers, like I said, are dealing with injuries to their backfield as well. Ferguson, Young, Suggs, Drungo, and Sam Walton, the line. Sludge and Walsh are back there. Joyner, Byrne, and I missed the tight end. Charlie Joyner had a good game last week and took over in taking the lead in team receptions. Sledge gets the first down there, so the Bills unable to get a first down. The Oilers do get a first down. And now Pastorini will turn and handoff. And I believe that's Walsh who gets a nice gain, 9-yard gain. First carry from Walsh. But this is what the Oilers do. They they definitely run the ball. That's why Pastorini saw with his yardage was so much lower than Shaw's. He does complete passes, of course, but they like to rely on the running game. There's last week's performance, 9 catches for 94 yards. He's up to 21 catches now on the season. So that's a pretty good start, especially for 1971. There's another handoff. Guidry's back. Guidry was hurt for a little bit of week 4. And like I said, O.J. Simpson, who was gone since the second play of the season for the Bills, is back. Oh, there's a throw right on the money by Pastorini with room to run. So that turns into a huge play because of the accuracy of the pass. He put it in front of him and allowed, is that Holmes, that's right. He allowed Holmes to catch it on the run and break off much more yardage. So here we go. From the 15, handoff, and not much there. Here's the Bills defense. Cowlings, Dunaway, Tetrick, Snowden across the line. Chandler, Guidry, and Stratton, all the starters are back. And Pitts and Richardson, the safeties. Wyatt and James, the corners.
Here we go. Here we go.
So the Bills getting healthier. The Oilers getting healthier. Both still have injuries in their backfield, but like I said, O.J. Simpson is about 80%, and so as long as he does not re-injure anything, the Bills will be feeling close to full health soon. Pastorini has delivered on 3 of his 4 attempts, but that's just a yard short to Frazier. Will Frazier, of course, back from the old Sack to the Future days of the early and mid-60s. Mosley puts that through, and the Oilers take the lead, 3-0. So each team's had a drive. The Bills come away with no points. The Oilers 3, like I said before. In week 1, the Bills won and the Oilers lost. But every week since then, the Bills have not won and the Oilers have not lost. So 3-1 against 1, 2-1. First place against last place. Similar to last game where we had the first place Vikings against the last place. Man, I just played it earlier today. The Vikings and the last place Giants. Holmes, Billingsley, Tillman, and Alvin Bethea. Boyett, Webster, and Pritchard are the linebackers today. Ken Houston, John Charles, Benny Johnson, and Willie Alexander, the secondary. Now, that wasn't Ken Houston pictured for whatever reason. Sometimes Madden plays these games where they throw backup defensive linemen in there in the secondary. That's a heck of a catch, right? Did he come down with it? Haven Moses with a great catch, and that is Shaw reaching 1,000 yards for the season here in just week number 5. Averaging just under 250 yards per game. There's a pitch out to Braxton. I'm sorry, that's Patrick. So Patrick gets a carry but loses 6 yards. I don't expect, again, O.J. Simpson's not completely 100%, so they're not going to just feed him, with 30 carries, I don't think. I think they are going to split it up like they have been so far. Here's a play-action pass. Shaw goes to Patrick. Gain of 4. 3rd and 12 coming up. As predicted, beat the last place Giants, but it was close for about 3 quarters, and the Vikings just punched them in the mouth repeatedly in that 4th quarter and turned it into a kind of a blowout score. I expect this game to be closer, not because the Oilers are significantly worse than the Vikings, although that is true, and not because the Bills are significantly better than the Giants, and we know that's not true because they tied when they played, but because the Bills, in all games broadcast, they played 4 games, they won by 3 in regulation, tied, meaning they went all the way through overtime and still ended tied, then lost in overtime, and then last week was their biggest blowout, if you will, and that was still a 1-score game midway through the 4th quarter until the Patriots put another touchdown on the board to kind of put the game away. So the chances of this being more than a 1-score game are very low. I think it's going to be a tight game. The Oilers have won 3 in a row. They've done it by playing tight games and playing great defense, so I expect the Oilers to still go ahead and win this game. But I think it'll be by about 6 points, keeping it a 1-score game. For Pastorini. Post on the reception. Post getting more playing time because of the injuries, again, in the backfield for the Oilers. Sledge, 8 carries, 46 yards, so it does not. Sledge is filling in just like he is the starting caliber running back. Here comes a blitz by the Bills, and they picked up 2 of the 3 blitzers, but the third one got through before Pastorini could find someone open. So Gayatri indeed gets the sack. And now it's at 3rd and 9, so Pastorini's going to have to be confident in this throw. Great protection. Pastorini runs out of it, though, and gets the first down because he saw a huge, well, I guess I should say a just complete lack of defenders on the Bills side of that left side of the field. So with the receiver going deep and no Bills in the area, even with good protection, he just took off knowing once he got past the line that was a huge 24-yard run waiting for him. So again, Pastorini has played very well in the opening quarter here. There's a handoff, another huge hole, and maybe this will end up being a blowout because the Oilers' offensive line, unless the Bills blitz 3 or more people, this offensive line is tearing apart the Bills' defense here in the first quarter. And you can't just blitz 3 to 4 people every play because that means there's 4 or less people defending passes, and it's not going to take long for Pastorini and the offensive coaches to figure out how to get huge plays against that. So the Bills are going to have to tighten it up defensively somehow, but right now it's imperative that the Bills get some points on the board because it's already 10-0. And the Oilers are not known for an explosive offense. They are known for a very solid defense so far this year. Here's a pitch out to Patrick, and he loses more yards. So, again, you wouldn't be constantly giving it to Patrick, who's getting no yards. Houston, now that's a dynamic player right there. Ken Houston, talk about the stars of the game with O.J. Simpson not being at 100%. And even if he was at this point in time here in 1971, he is not at the caliber of Ken Houston. Ken Houston, an all-world safety. Look at this. Shaw never saw him coming. Luckily, he did not fumble. I think he may have saw him right before he got hit to clutch that ball a little bit tighter. But Holmes gets the sack, and that's the way the first quarter comes to an end. The Bills need to regroup in this short break as they walk to the other side of the field because they are getting hammered right now, 10-0. It's 3rd and 23. Shaw will go short just to get some yards. Oh, what is that? Oh, no. O.J. Simpson. Was that O.J. Simpson? O.J. Simpson. That was interesting. He caught the ball and just was not in a hurry at all. Is he still hurting? I know he's not 100%, but I thought he was like 75, 80%. That looks like he's not. They might need to sit him for the rest of the game to make sure. I don't think he is ready to play yet based on the way he looked. Oh my goodness, but who is ready to play with a couple dynamic punt return moves is Sledge, Leroy Sledge, thrown in to being the starting running back today, but still the punt returner as well, and had a great one there. Pastorini turns, gives it nothing there, so he bounces it outside and turns it into a 9-yard gain. 7.6 yard average right now for Sledge. Look at that, rushing yards 110 to -9, passing yards 35 to -1. So it's 145 yards plus. So they're at about 150 yards now to -10. Pastorini, quick drop. Oh. He either threw it to a receiver that had no intention of thinking he could get the ball, or he was trying to throw it to the tight end and threw it over his head. Either way, not a great throw there. Now here's a handoff to Post, and he gets 5 yards. So again, Woody Campbell hurt. So you're seeing Sledge and Post getting most of the carries. Pastorini in trouble, and down he goes. So that's the second time the Bills have gotten home with the all-out blitz that's been their best play. But like I said, you generally cannot go all-out blitz over and over and over. So they wait and use it on third down, which is smart. And the Oilers try a field goal, which is 50 yards. Over 50 is too hard here in the 70s, or in 71 at least. But 50, that was slightly inside of 50, but he missed it by a lot. So he might have to, the Oilers might need to cut their range down to 45. No field goal attempts over 45. Or he just completely mishit that one. Play action pass. Shaw fires complete. That's a first down. Shaw 4 of 7 now. That is White, the rookie out of Ohio State, who leads the team in receptions, but not in yardage. Haven Moses leads in yardage. There's false start for the Buffalo Bills. There you see the score of the game played earlier today. So in the same time frame, since these games are at the same time, that's why you see the final scores not there. It says Vikings 7, Giants 3. If you watch that game, you know what's going to happen. If you didn't watch that game, you can follow the highlights like the rest of us. See Shaw breaking a tackle on that run. Turns it into a 16-yard game. There's a turn and hand to Patrick. He gets positive yards for one, so he now has 3 carries for -5 yards. It looks like O.J. Simpson is going to make an appearance back out there again. They'll hand it to him, and yeah, something's wrong with O.J. Simpson. Something is still definitely wrong with O.J. Simpson. I'm surprised he's playing this game. We could only hope he doesn't re-injure something worse. I mean, they played with Braxton and no O.J. the last couple of games. I'm not sure why he's back in there. If he's not ready, they could have just gone with Braxton. There's Braxton in there now, but they don't hand to him. Shaw's going to throw, and that ball's just dropped. He was trying to go to, it looked like he was actually trying to go to an offensive lineman that had lined up as reported as eligible. There's a hand off to Patrick, and he cuts inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So Patrick, with those last couple positive runs, is now up to 4 rushes for 0 yards. And there's O.J. Simpson. When he gets the ball, he just kind of, I mean, he's running so slow. Not just slow for O.J. Simpson, slow for everyone. He's like the slowest person on the field. Just has no giddy up or anything. I need to stop putting him out there is what needs to happen. The kick is good. In fact, sorry. I go to make sure that they knock it off because he clearly has a problem. So I usually don't like to jump in and do anything here, but when it's an apparent injury like that, they just need to. Oh, it even says injured. Maybe he re-injured it already. Anyways, they cannot continue to feed him the ball when he just can't do it. So Braxton will play. He played the majority of the last 2 weeks anyways. And so it looked like maybe they tried to bring O.J. Simpson back and he re-injured it. Or he's just not. I don't remember him looking that slow on the very first carry, but then remember the second play of the game. Shaw threw it a little bit high. He had to kind of stretch up to make the catch and then got hit. And the ball came out. It was incomplete. They didn't announce injury. But he definitely looks injured, and he just had the injury symbol by his name. So now you can only put him on the depth chart, just back him up so he might still get out there, but you hope that will put him out there a lot less and therefore not get hurt for, the remainder of the season or something crazy. Wyatt with a nice tackle there, 2nd and 11. The Bills, by the way, while I was worried about O.J. Simpson and everything, they did kick the field goal. It is still just a 1-score game, even though this has seemed to be a negative experience for the Bills all the way around. They are still in it. It's only 10-3. They took some nice time off the clock on that drive too, which has kind of slowed down the Oilers because they had to sit on the sidelines for a while. And gave their defense a rest. So there was some good things that the Bills did on that last drive as well. There's a broken tackle from Walsh. 2 carries, 13 yards. Now 3rd and 4. The Bills need to get off the field here. They rush 4, put a lot of people in coverage. Pastorini's going to try to beat it, and he cannot. The Bills decided to go coverage there the last couple. And now the Oilers will have to punt to the Bills. So after the horrendous start by the Bills, here they are with the ball. Down by 1 score. A chance to possibly tie this thing before the half. So it looks like Braxton now makes a move. There you see Braxton definitely looking quicker than O.J. Simpson because he is definitely not okay. Whether he got injured on that second pass play of the game or they had no business bringing him back in the first place. Either way, he needs to sit for the rest of this game, I think. There you see a nice throw from Shaw to Briscoe. And the Bills are up to midfield. Hand off to Braxton. Slams into the middle, gets 2 to 3 yards. So as far as the big 4 go, the Giants lost their 1-3-1. The Bills coming at 1-2-1. And yes, they both have ties because they tied each other. So right now, the Giants are in the worst position technically at 1-3-1, and then it's the Bears at 1-3, then the Bills at 1-2-1, and of course the Cowboys are 4-0, as they are without a doubt the best of the big 4 here in 71. Okay, pretty good punt. Gets it out to 13. Pastorini's going to line up from the shotgun, though, so it looks like the Oilers are definitely going to try to put more points on the board here. It's a throw, but it doesn't hit anyone. Incomplete. Pastorini's now missed on his last 3 attempts. Pastorini throws, and it's knocked down. So 4 consecutive incompletions. The Bills have definitely seemed to turn some things around here defensively. Now on 3rd down, the Oilers will just hand off. And he fights. He almost got it. He got 8 of the 10 yards, but did not get enough for the first down. Bills will call a timeout. And see, depending on the punt, the Bills can definitely play for some points here. It is a good punt. It is a good punt. Let's see what the return is. Nothing. A good punt followed up by good punt coverage might just take the Bills out of even attempting to get points. 32-yard line. Shaw has been a good thrower this season. He's already over 1,000 yards, so I think they still go for it. Shaw, quick drop. Almost threw it right into the Oilers' hands. That could have been a pick 6. I wonder if that changes the coach's mind here. Do you just hand off now thinking, wow, we just almost gave him another touchdown? No, they're still going to throw. And this time Shaw hits his man right in stride, and Haven Moses gets it across the 45-yard line. Timeout Bills. There's 1 more remaining. They're now at the 44-yard, inside the 44-yard. Shaw drops back, deeper drop, fires deep downfield. He's got a man. Caught. Oh, Moses had to slow down just a bit, actually left his feet to make that catch. And the most important thing was to make sure you got the catch. But I think if he just kind of slows his stride down instead of sprinting and then deciding he has to jump for it, I think if he just slows down just a little bit, he probably makes that catch on the run, and it's probably a touchdown. But either way, at least he did make the catch, the most important thing. And now Shaw in first and goal will fire it out of the back of the end zone. Second down, Shaw drops back, fires it into the ground. And now we have a third and goal. Shaw drops back. Here comes some Oiler pressure, and Shaw just misses. And now the field goal kicker will come out. So again, you have to make sure that, without a doubt, you make the catch. So if changing his stride would have possibly caused him to drop the ball or something, that's why you got to make sure you go up and get the catch. But it seems like if Haven Moses could do that again, he probably does it in a way that turns that throw into a touchdown. Either way, Shaw does lead his team to points. And now the Oilers, who were once up 10-0 and seemed like total control of this game, now find themselves at a 10-6. And the classic 71 Bills, who keep games close but usually come up short of winning, are keeping it close but are short of winning.
That's the end of the first half with the score Titans 10, Bills 6.
Oilers 10, Bills 6. Bills kicking off to the Oilers to start the second half, and the Oilers getting right up to the 25-yard line. All right, so the Bills got thrown all over the place in the first quarter, 10-0, huge yard advantage, all these things. The Bills in the second quarter decided to go ahead and sit O.J. Simpson, as it looked like he either re-aggravated something or is just not healthy enough. And they've kind of clawed their way back to 10-6. Defense has definitely played better since they finally got some points on the board. Now Pastorini's going to turn and run. He goes across 25-30, takes a hit, but keeps on going. Pastorini now up to 30 yards on the ground. The Oilers up to 154 yards on the ground. There's a throw underneath, one broken tackle, but the second tackle gets there. Oilers breaking a lot of tackles this game. 3rd and 2. The Oilers have been very effective on the ground. I think you run it here. But they're going to throw. And that's going to make them punt. That was the incorrect call. The way they've been running against this Bills defense, they should have thrown, but they didn't. So now the Bills will get the ball. Down by 4. Last 2 drives have ended in field goals for the Bills. So they're cutting it closer and closer. And now, for the first time since their first drive, they have the ball while trailing by less than 7. Shaw turns, fakes to Braxton, sets up, gets hit, and taken down by Alvin Bethea, one of the best players on the field right now. Average rank safety Ken Houston as the best player that's on the field at this particular moment. And then Bethea could definitely be the second best. Shaw back pass on 3rd and 15. He gets some good protection from his line. Decides to go short, but the coverage was there, so nothing really for Shaw to do. At least he didn't turn it over. And then 4th and 15. It's okay to punt. Even the really good teams have really good defenses, but even the teams that are in last place, like the Bills, still have good enough defenses that punting is not a horrible thing. Now, the Oilers have been one of the best teams of not turning the ball over, and that's basically how they've gotten to 3-1. They don't turn the ball over and play solid defense. That's his second rush. That's the second time they've gone with a pass like that, almost like a screen that's been behind the line. So it actually shows him at 2 rushes for 16 yards rather than completions. That's too many people in the same place. The Oilers had 2 receivers in the same place, and I don't think that was meant for Frazier, but I mean he was right there, so he thought it was, and he actually jumped in front of the other guy and broke it up. Now Pastorini thought he was going to have enough of a lane there to get the first down, but then he thought better of taking a huge hit, slid, and just decided to punt again. Punting is okay. James not much on the return, but out come the Buffalo Bills again. Down 10-6. They only play close games for the most part. There's a handoff to Braxton. 3 carries, 10 yards. Shaw play action pass. Got to get rid of it. There's 2 Oilers, too many. And Tillman gets the sack. Shaw a little bit disgusted, flips the ball back. Tillman celebrating. 3rd and 18. Might just hand it off here. Nope, they are going to go back to throw. I guess they're going to go forward the first down, or at least get some yardage. It's a nice throw to White, but nice tackle by Ken Houston. And the Bills will punt again. So the defense of both of these teams definitely making their claim to starting the defensive decade of football here, 1971. 10-6. Quick handoff to Sledge, who fights his way up to the 9-yard line. 14 carries, 89 yards, and he does have the game's only touchdown. The Oilers have exactly 200 yards, only 35 of them through the air. Pastorini now will throw. That's complete, and first down obtained. Pastorini is back up to 50% throwing. There's a handoff to Sledge again, to 93 yards now. So all that, and the Oilers are still only at their own 20-yard line. 2nd and 6. Pastorini, a delay handoff, and Sledge just runs over. There's that Edgar runs over a Bill. Missed exactly who it was, but you see the Oilers have now run 40 plays. 26 of them have been rushing plays. Sledge takes it, counters to the left, and gets 3 more. But does go over 100 yards for the game. Pastorini now from the shotgun. Oh, he fakes the handoff, and he's going to run 30, 40, 50, all the way across midfield. Takes a shot from the safety. Holds on to the ball, though. Huge 24-yard run. The Oilers now up over 200 yards on the ground. Now hand off to Sledge, and a huge hole opened by that line. Sledge gets down to the 35-yard line. This drive started back inside their own 10, but now they're almost in field goal range, and they've done almost all of it on the ground. Hand off to Holmes, and he gets ripped down by the face mask. So that's going to get him inside the red zone. Well, this is a drive that it's only 3rd quarter. Way too early to say, but it can be a very demoralizing, if not game-ending drive, if they were to start inside their own 10 and put this ball into the end zone for a drive that clearly has taken a lot of time off the clock, too. That's just going to be a lot of negatives rolled into one, so the Bills really got to try to hold them to a field goal here. So this is the play, 3rd and 3. If the Bills can hold them, then it's just a long, slightly disappointing drive, but they would still be within a score. Pastorini throws a little bit low, but nice catch made. Reed with the catch, his first of the day, and the Oilers have a 1st and goal with just over a minute and a half to go. The handoff, a few more yards for Sledge. He's up to 118. 2nd and goal. Bills starting to tire out on defense here. And a big push. They push the line back, but nice play to get him and tackle and get him by the ankles, just short of the first down. I don't know how the Bills can have anything left on this one, the way they were pushed on that last one. But they blitz in from the the left side of the defense. Comes in, right side of the offensive line, Guidry, and they let 82 go too, so two guys come in and stop that play in the backfield. So a first scoreless quarter. It was all Oilers in the first. The Bills had a good second quarter, and then neither team scored in the third. But the Oilers are going to start the fourth by putting points on the board. Kick is up, and that is good. All right, so lots of good thing for the Oilers. They're a nice long drive, took lots of time off the clock. They're now over 200 yards on the ground. They've tired out the Bills defense. The Bills defense doesn't have much left in the tank and all that, but the Bills were able to stand up one last time when they needed to at the goal line to stop it from being a touchdown, and that means that Shaw and company, if they can just get this ball into the end zone, can tie it up here in the fourth quarter. Total yards, you see, 273 to 120. So Bills definitely getting outplayed yardage-wise, but Shaw can erase all that with a nice drive here. What he cannot do, though, is go 3 and out. Bills defense definitely beat up and tired at the moment. Shaw will throw short. Braxton does make the catch and hold on to the ball, but he doesn't get any yards. 3rd and 12, we're going to need a play here. You cannot go 3 and out. Shaw's going to drop back. Line does give him some time, and he finds his receiver and hits him for the first down. It's a nice play all the way around. Haven Moses, of course, always showing up when you need him. And the offensive line showed up on that play. Good blocking. Shaw with a nice accurate throw. Now Shaw fires downfield. And Briscoe goes up, almost had it, but got hit while he was coming down with it and lost the ball. Shaw fires across the middle. That's open for Jan White, and he gets all the way down to the 40-yard line, to the 39, actually. .13 minutes to go in this one. Bills trail by a touchdown. Back to pass again is Shaw. Good protection again. He goes short. Whenever you get good protection, it's important to get some yards, and that's why he went ahead and went short and got the 3 yards. Backs to pass again. Good protection again. Fires downfield. Nice coverage. Nice coverage. 1-on-1. Worth the shot. A good throw, but good coverage. 3rd and 7. This is now a big play for the Oilers defense. Good job by the offensive line. Shaw's going to run for it. Gets across the 35. Just there was a couple guys over there. It was going to be hard. He did have one blocker, but there was 2 defenders, and unless you can juke one of them out, didn't have much of a chance. So they opt not to go for the 51-yarder and instead punt, and it is an excellent punt. So if you punt that in the end zone, it's a touchback. It's only a net gain of 14 yards, and you definitely have a question. But it's a very good punt, and that makes it they start at the own 3. And the Oilers, more of a conservative team, will probably hand off. And if you can play defense like that in the first one, you almost guarantee that they're handing off on this down. And if you don't give up a big run here, you can probably get yourself a 3-and-out punt. Hand off, short gain. Okay, so everything, now you're seeing why it was a smart decision by the coach. He punted, the punter executed, got it down to the 3, and now you're just one play away from having pretty good starting field position on your next drive. So handoff, and they do tackle him. There you go. Oilers not willing to take any risk with the ball so deep in their own zone. So the Bills will get it back right around. Well, let's see what the return is. Nice move there. Oh, if he would have broke that tackle, but of course that is Houston. So the Oilers not messing around, putting Ken Houston on the punt coverage team. And the Bills will start at their own 43-yard line. Throws out. He did catch it in bounds. There was a little bit of question if he got his second foot in bounds, but he did. And now the Bills are almost right back to where they were when they decided to punt just moments ago. Shaw will spin. He's going to try to run this side. He's got one man to beat. Cannot beat him. Short gain. It was a gain, though. It was not a sack. 2nd and 9. Ooh. Shaw on the way back actually ran into Patrick a little bit. And that threw everything off. And turns it into a sack. So that's just an unfortunate play now. 3rd and 14. They're going to pitch it to Braxton, who gets taken down in the backfield. So that play was definitely questionable. And if you punt it from the 34, you have to punt on a 4th and 19 from your own side of the field. So now let's see if the punter can once again come through. He does punt it towards the sidelines again. That's not a very good punt. It avoids any kind of return, but not a good punt at all, only down to the 31. So now the pressure on the Bills defense. They have to force another punt here. There's a quick, that's like the 3rd time the Oilers have pulled that out. Quick throw. It's Kenny Burrow who makes the catch, but only gets 1 yard. Sledge slams it forward. He's up to 130 yards now. 3rd and 2. Here we go. Big play again. They had a 3rd and out, a 3 and out, and now they got to try to make another 3 and out happen. Play action pass. Pastorini going to fire downfield and overshoot his receiver. He had something there, but he overshoots, and the Bills defense comes up with their 2nd consecutive 3 and out. So the defense has played really well after that first quarter. Only allowed 3 points in the last more than 2.5 quarters. But there's a nice punt by the Oilers. So we've seen some nice punts here in the 4th quarter. So here we go. Shaw has to go 95 yards. He has the time, 5.5 minutes, but it's a lot of yards they have to go. Patrick literally runs into the back of his offensive lineman and gets no yards. Rushing yards, all Oilers, 232 to 47. It's going to have to be Shaw. Shaw decides he's going to get some of that yards with his legs. Fights off one tackler, but that just allows him to get hit harder by a second tackler. 3rd and 7. Oh, did he give him the jump, or was it a false start? It was a false start. So now that puts the Bills in an awkward position of 3rd and 11. Oilers going to have their ears pinned back looking for a safety. Shaw tries to avoid it again, and it is a safety. It looks like the ball came out of his hands at the last minute, but he was down, so it is a safety. But they, not sure how that's not taunting, but it's 71, so I'm glad they're not calling it. Now the Bills have to punt. Oh, no, and the punt goes out of bounds. Everything just falling apart now for the Buffalo Bills. It all started with a false start that pushed them deeper into their zone. Then Shaw couldn't pull the trigger and ended up getting hit for a safety. And now it's a 2-score game, and the Oilers have the ball. So the Oilers clearly just going to run 3 times here. The Oilers know the Bills don't have enough time to score twice. And now that Sledge got that first down, it's even more so. Pastorini should not be throwing another pass this game. The Oilers are at 300 total yards, and most of those are on the ground. And a huge hole. Oh my goodness, all the way to the safety. And if he would have broke that tackle by the safety, he would have got a touchdown. 263 yards on the ground for the Oilers. 2-minute warning. So now you run it 3 times, and even if the Bills stop you, you take away all their timeouts. So outside of a miracle here, Sledge just keeps going and going, and he's not the starter, remember. Or, well, I mean, there's not much of a difference. Even in real life, 71. The Oilers' backs definitely split the yardage, so it's not like Sledge is some scrub or anything. But still, he's having a good game for someone who's not the clear-cut best running back on the team. Pastorini does throw, completes, and it ends up being all the way down to the 1 yard line. I said he shouldn't throw again, but if you do throw, then at least make sure it's a 21-yard gain. The Bills have one timeout left. They could literally, well, they couldn't kneel out the game, but they could kneel it down to about 10 seconds ago. Handoff, he stopped. That's the last timeout for the Bills. So if you kneel again. They could kneel it down to about 20 seconds and make it 18-6 with 20 seconds to go. So it's basically over. And to Holmes, who's fighting but does not get in. Go ahead and let the clock tick. The Oilers are 1 minute away from winning their 4th consecutive game and getting to a 4-1 record. Pastorini takes it all the way down, hand up to Sledge, and the Bills do hit him and stop him. Sledge carried the ball 31 times today. And now you see the clock ticking as much as they can tick it down, and then they're going to add 3 more points to this game. Kick is up, and it's good. So only 15 seconds to go. Oilers up 18-6. No possible way the Bills win this game. Even if he can return this kick, he doesn't even try. Even if he would return the kick for the touchdown, they would have still needed an onside kick and a Hail Mary. So let's see if Shaw can just add some stats to his yardage. Oilers only rushing 3. He decides to just lob it up there just for some sort of prayer for a weird tip and get a 1-score touchdown. It's 10 seconds. He'll probably do the same thing unless he throws an out pattern just to get closer. And you just seeing how far he can throw now. All kinds of defenders back there. And that's incomplete. 2 seconds to go. He can practice that one more time. Again, 8 defenders are going to run back. And Shaw this time throws it a little bit quicker, but it's same result. So, the Oilers hold on, totally control the game with their running game and time of possession control. Also, another good defensive effort for the Oilers as they allow only 6 points. Again, I said coming in that these two teams are going in the opposite directions. The Bills haven't won since week 1. The Oilers haven't lost since week 1, and that continues. Oilers up to 4-1 now. And the Oilers another game of no turnovers. Pastorini still only 1 interception on the year. I think the Oilers as a team only has like 1 or 2 turnovers total. So that's how they're winning, not turning it over. But thank you for joining. The next game on this channel, of course, will be the Chicago Bears and Oakland Raiders. So tune in for that one, possibly tomorrow night. But thank you for watching and have a good night.